baby.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to day 13, lucky number 13. So I purposely chose this topic for today because of the number 13, because a lot of people associate it with a negative connotation and bad luck. Today we're going to spin it. And in some cultures, the number 13 is actually very lucky. So we are going to talk about lucky girl syndrome. I got asked a lot about this when I talked about it on my stories really quickly this summer. As we were going up into the glow up challenge and just approaching it, I mentioned lucky girl syndrome. I also did a live training on this with my subscribers on Instagram, and they were all about it. So I'm going to take you through this. It is much more than just a gratitude practice. It doesn't need to feel forced. You can include this in your daily grind plan or daily under the gratitude, but I feel like it goes beyond that. And it really comes down to noticing the very, very small nature's miracles, if you will. The little, what did I hear? I heard this it's in the Haunted Mansion movie. I thought it was very cute. A little ghost wink. So you could call it a wink from whatever you want, but a little wink. And sometimes as you're going through your day, if something is maybe a coincidence or that you go, that was cool, take note of it. And the more that you can soak these in to your life, either write them down, note them, pay attention to them, feel grateful for them, the more that they tend to happen. The law of attraction, this really is something that when you start to notice it. So let's say that you have your eye all of a sudden on maybe a dream car. I know most of us are chicks here, but whatever. Let's talk about a cute car, a cute purse, or a pair of shoes, or something that you just really want, or maybe a cute workout outfit, or a cuppy, or whatever. And then you start seeing it everywhere. That, my friend, is the law of attraction. It doesn't have to be this crazy outlandish thing. It is when you start to notice something, you'll see it more and more and how much is actually around you. And for that, you will be a happier person. There's no woo-woo here. It's literally just you attract more of it to you. I was not a fan in school of biology or chemistry, but I was a huge fan of physics. And to me, this makes logical physics, scientific sense. So you get back what you put out, equal and opposite reaction, correct? So when you're noticing these small, let's call them winks, what can happen? More will come to you, and not in a weird, like I said, not in a weird woo-woo way. So if you start to notice these things, and what I would love is if something happened to you today, this week, this month, this year, that you're thinking about and you're like, hey, that was weird. Like that was lucky. That was really, really good luck, good timing, right place, right time. And I had this opportunity, or I met this person, which led me to this circumstance, and it worked out. That's really the whole purpose of today, is what if everything that you're going through, whether it's really freaking hard right now, what if it's all meant to work out that way? And it's all for the best. What if right now you feel like you're so held back and it's not progressing, but what if you were meant to held back? What if you were meant to miss that flight because you met the love of your life on your connection to Connecticut instead of New Mexico? Like, what if that was how it was supposed to work out? So what if it's all just meant to work out for you? And if you start seeing it that way, how much more beautiful life can be, and how much happier you'll be, and how much more opportunity you can attract to yourself. So what I would love is, instead of us dwelling on all of these things that are happening to us, what if we can focus on the things that are happening for us? So what is something, and this is where we're going to get goosies together, what is something that has happened to you in the recent past, day, week, year, month, whatever you want, that is almost like weirdly, like the timing you were like, okay, wow. I can share. So obviously for the past year and a bit, more than a year, Andre and I have been quietly and then not so quietly looking for a house. So we actually started looking last April, maybe a little bit sooner. And we were looking, but the physical act of going to see houses started last April. So we've been looking for quite a while. And we started searching, and we liked some houses, but we never got the feels of the feels. It was very frustrating. We felt very confused. Like there were legit moments where I just sat full transparency, right there on the floor of my office, crying, being like, I don't know what to do. So if you are in that standpoint of your life where it's either a big decision, like where the heck are you going to live, or where are you going to go to school, or what are you going to do for a living, or how are you going to make a certain amount of money, that's where we're going to start shifting everything. Over the next 3 days, we're going to shift everything from what am I doing, the things that are blocking you, to what's possible and the goals and what's waiting for you, and glowing up and making bank and letting the good stuff happen and making that big shift. So I went from that place, and that's really where this series came from how I went to that place of, I don't know what to do and I don't know if I can do it, to let's freaking go. Like, let's make this ish happen. So where I shifted is I started to notice the little things. And I started to recognize that the timing was okay. And although it didn't move at the pace I wanted it to, which you know me, I don't do well in what I call limbo. I've been like this my whole life. Limbo for me is not, it's purgatory. We're in between the goal. It's not my fave. So and what I mean by that is between point A and point B, when I'm stuck in between and it hasn't happened yet, I really struggle with that. And that's just me self-assessing. It's my own struggle, but maybe you do that too. And I needed to understand that maybe that's just the timeline. Like maybe that's the right timeline. And so this is what happened. We looked and we saw over 40 houses. We went to all different areas. We went to the province over. We went out into the boonies, everywhere. I became like obsessive with, we don't have Zwillow in Canada. Maybe we do, but I didn't use it. We have realtor.ca. That's what I used. And I would just refresh it constantly, almost hoping for like a miracle to happen. And there was just nothing. Either things we couldn't afford to. I dealt with that. Realtors that would be like, I can show you this literally happened. I can show you a $10 million house. I'm like, are you like on certain types of drugs? Like, no, I can't. No, maybe one day, but not right now. And so that type of stuff happened. So just a lot of frustrations, like things that, of course, I would love that, but we're not there, or things that were not at all what I wanted. Or I got really, really excited to go see a house. We get there, I'm like, no, this ain't it. So, and that happened so many times. So what was really interesting is there was a house that we went to see, and I had the feel of the feels, and I went into my inbox to search the address to just find the Google Doc from the realtor. I had talked to my dad about that exact same property a whole year prior. It had been listed on the market at a higher price, pulled, reposted at a lower price, like the year later, like it was just off the market. I thought it sold. And he was so adamant about this house. And he just said, like, Angie, this is it. And he literally, my dad and I are so the same. He just did a comparison sheet for me. And so the address, when I searched in my inbox to send him the information and send to my mom, I was like, what's that from a year ago? And it was the exact same house at then a lower price with a better offer for us to go see. That's the house we ended up buying. Wild, like literally Goosey's wild that it would have. I saw it, I spotted it. It was amazing. Not in our budget really. And also just kind of a big leap. And he really said, like, I know it's a lot, but this is really like, this is phenomenal. And I just I don't even think I saw the email. If I'm being honest, I don't remember seeing the email. So my point is all of these little things. And I looked at that when I saw that email from him from a year prior, that it was the exact same house. I was blown away. And I just thought the timing of that couldn't have been more perfect. And even going through this now, I have such a different perspective of, if our own house hasn't sold yet, maybe that's for the best. Maybe we're not rushed into a situation, that we can go slowly move into our house and share it with you guys and do that. So maybe everything does just work out for you. So without getting all emotional, I hope that my own huge, frustrating, crazy moments of crazy proportions of just feeling completely defeated can help you today maybe understand that it's all going to work out for you. So drop your own story in the comments down below or on live. I want to hear about them. And tomorrow we're going in deep, and then we're flipping the switch into making all of the things happen for you. So I will see you then. I love you. And go out there today and start taking notes of all the things that are happening, not just to you, but for you. Cool? Bye, dudes.